Morning.
Hello, everybody. Oh, look, Dale's hidden. All right, I'll bring Dale out from behind Urfspace. There we go. This is the Urfspace show, everybody. Welcome. Good morning. Urfspace Live. This is Urfspace. I'm Urfspace. DJ Dynamat Holdaway was calling me Urfspace. He goes by Dynamat now. I guess that's what we're all doing now. You got to have your artist name. Although he said, like, I'm either Pupil or Urfspace. I mean, I used to be Pupil, now I'm Urfspace, I suppose. I mean, I can't be both, and I can't be all the other things that I did as well. I have to be.
Should I use
or
one
you
of my
can change your
cat's
name.
names?
That's confusing. Yeah. What's your cat's names?
Huey.
Huey. All right. Well,
So
I know
you're
that.
going to call me Huey for the rest of the episode?
No. I'm going to call you
Okay.
Dale. I would be disrespectful to Huey, who I understand is quite a remarkable cat. By all accounts, he's quite a remarkable cat.
He is. He is a associate producer.
I've heard amazing things about this Huey. Most of them I don't believe, I have to say.
No, you can look him up. Look up the Mighty Huey on the Internet Movie Database, and you will find that he's an
he's a movie producer. I know.
Yeah, and he's going to be moving up pretty soon. He's got another credit coming, and it's not associate producer.
Oh, what is it?
And
director?
You'll find out. It'll probably be a month or two before everything works out, but he's going to be quite famous.
Okay.
He has to...
Really? All right, that's good news. Wait, your hair's looking very blonde today. Did you get a dye job?
No, I just haven't washed it.
Oh, it's looking very golden haired today for some reason.
Yeah. I'm moving into my elderly wizard phase.
Does that mean your hair magically changes colour depending on your mood?
I think
like the mermaid in my book, Where's the Mermaid?
If this was the Shire, I would be Dale the Grey.
Well, it's sort of like the Shire. I'm going back to the Shire next week.
I heard.
Hampshire.
Also, I don't see the link
Old
to
England, not new and improved
England page. I don't see the link to the show on your Facebook page. I'm going to refresh it. Oh, there it is. I'll share it to our various groups.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad somebody's doing something to promote the show.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in that. You know, if people want to see it, that's what people want to see.
Well, those who haven't watched the show,
if they miss it, they'll miss it.
This show is Chuck exercising by drawing, and I'm his spotter. So
I'm going straight into it today.
Disorganized.
Wait, where do I do my glasses? Oh, there they are, on top of my head. All right. No underdrawing.
Okay.
But all right, the first one's usually a bit. She's might be a bit complicated. Maybe I'll find something simpler for the first one, because that one's a bit complicated.
Are you going to underdraw, or are you just going to jump straight into ink?
I'm going to jump straight in.
With ink?
Let me look. Yes. With Sharpie pens. Start with the Sharpie pens.
Oh, good.
I was just trying to find my reference out. I've got a folder here. Urfspace reference. All right. Let's see now.
Even Sergio Aragonés underdraws.
Does he?
I actually saw him draw last night.
Here's a sexy Helen Mirren.
Ooh.
I was just draw a sexy.
From what? Excalibur?
From when she's kind of young. I don't know what this is from.
When she's kind of young. Does she have like big bushy blonde hair?
Yes. Well, it's not that bushy. It's sort of long and straight from what I can tell.
Okay. She was in a movie early in her career with James Mason. I'm going to try to find the name of it.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that one. Where she's like she's underage and he's like an old man.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not underage. She's quite young. So like it was a sort of, not quite a Lolita, but it's a bit, he's a bit getting typecast. Although that was a movie that he wanted to do himself. And he's like, what's interesting about it is he's doing this really weird accent. He's not doing his normal James Mason voice. He's trying to do something a bit different.
Yeah,
Probably why he wanted to do it.
The film is Age of Consent.
Age of Consent, yeah.
And it's from 1969.
That's what makes me wonder if he wanted to make that movie, and also about underage thing. That did he actually sort of secretly want to have sex with underage girls?
Actually, I thought James Mason was gay.
Oh, well, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he's just English.
Oh, yeah, well.
There's a difference.
And,
I know Americans don't really know the difference, but there's a difference.
Okay. I must be thinking of some other actor. Yeah,
Americans tend to think if you've got any sort of intelligence or sophistication, then you must be gay.
Or you have, didn't we like talk about this? Like if you have a certain number of cats?
I don't know about the cats thing.
Yeah, well, scurrilous rumors always surround people's personal lives.
Yeah.
I apologize if I implied anything about the late James Mason that was not true. But I did
Well,
love
yeah, you don't want his estate suing you. But I mean, I don't know. It seems like, yeah, well.
Well, I loved him in Evil Under the Sun. Oh my God, he was so good in that. And Frankenstein, the True Story. I like James Mason, and he was Watson in Murder by Decree. He was a good Watson.
Yeah, well, I used to enjoy him as a kid. I remember some James Mason movies at various times, and you think, oh well, he's kind of good. I liked him, but I don't know. I haven't seen a James Mason movie. I think that Age of Consent, the last James Mason movie I saw. Actually,
I haven't seen it. I bought it. I saw it at Rasputin's and I picked it up, but I don't know where I put it.
I can tell you some things about it.
No, don't spoil it.
Now, it was directed by what's his name, Emmerich Powell, of the team Powell and Pressburger. Now, how for you with Powell and Pressburger?
No idea.
All right, so they were known as the Archers. And I'm not sure, but I think they probably were gay because they have a lot of sort of issues like that in their movies. Okay. And they're sort of most famous, I think, for they did a version of The Thief of Baghdad. Okay. They did a number of different movies. And one of them is my most favorite movie, one of my most favorite movies, which is a movie called... wait, did we watch this? Not The Field in England, but... hang on.
I have them up on IMDb, and I see these.
Yeah, the Canterbury Tale. Canterbury Tale. If you haven't seen Canterbury Tale, everybody who hasn't seen it, your homework tonight is to go watch it. I believe it's available like on the Criterion Collection or something, which is where
I don't have Criterion.
Hmm?
I don't have Criterion.
Okay, but you can go and rent it on a DVD or something.
I'll go over to Rasputin's and see if they have a disc. That or Streetlight. Yeah. I'll check Streetlight first.
Now the great thing, why the movie that I love it, it's a black and white movie. It was made during World War II. Yeah, it's right in the middle of World War II. In fact, right before the D-Day landings.
Mm-hmm.
And it was filmed in the south of England, in Kent, in Canterbury. Mm-hmm. And it really annoyed my brother-in-law when it started, because it starts with a bit of like all these pilgrims on the road to the Canterbury Tale, so they're all speaking in Chaucer's English.
Mm-hmm.
That my brother-in-law found that very upsetting. Then we cut to the modern day. You look up in the sky, like they're sort of sending a hawk up in the air, and they're pilgrims on the way to Canterbury. They send a hawk up in the air, and then it turns into a plane, and it's like a bomber, and we're in the modern era. This time is World War II. And there's a train going through the countryside, which again, my brother-in-law didn't like the train. He said, "That's a model train." I'm like, "No, that's just an old train. That's a train going through the Kent countryside." But he's still convinced it was a model train. But I don't know, it's got nothing to do with it, whether it's a model train or not. Train. And it gets dark, and the train arrives at the station, and it's the middle of the night. and he thinks he doesn't understand the guard, the station guard. Now, the station guard, first of all, is played by Charles Hawtrey. Do you know who Charles Hawtrey is?
No.
All right. Well, talking about gay people, I mean, he was out there. He was out and out from very early on, and he was in all these movies called the Carry On movies. Now, have you heard of any of the Carry On movies?
Yes, I've heard of the Carry On movies. I've seen clips of them. I think the last one I saw something from actually had some of the actors from the Young Ones in it.
They did do. There was a later one. There was a very late one that they did, like almost after they didn't. They sort of tried to resurrect it a little bit, and it had some people like Julia Clary was in it, who was a famous sort of drag queen in England and stuff like that. So, I mean, they might have a resurgence. I don't know, but one of the main actors. There were two sort of main actors in Carry On films. Well, Charles Hawtrey was one of them, but he was like the third one, really. Well, there was like a cast of characters, but really the one that really sticks in people's minds is this guy Kenneth Williams, who was like very. He also was quite camp, although he always sort of played it as if he wasn't. He'd be like, well, he was very funny. He was quite a strange man, Kenneth Williams. I mean, he was sort of somewhat, I don't know if he was even very out. He was very sort of closeted in a way. I mean, he was sort of closeted. He was really confused, I think. There's a good movie about him a very good movie about him with Michael Sheen, who's the actor for...
Oh, I know who Michael Sheen is.
Yeah, he's quite a popular actor now, and he played Kenneth Williams in a movie about Kenneth Williams, which is quite interesting, and tells you a bit of background story about Carry On and whatnot. Anyway, Charles Hawtrey was always sort of Kenneth Williams' foil, being the other kind of quite campy guy, and they'd often be at loggerheads. Oh dear, and that this is a staple. If you grew up in Britain in the 70s, Carry On films were a staple on the television.
Well, we didn't get them over here in the United States.
No, because they're too rude. They're like one sexual innuendo after another.
And that really surprises me that they wouldn't be over here, because in the Bay Area on Channel 2 out of Oakland, Benny Hill.
It's not like Benny Hill. Benny Hill's like chasing around after sexy girls, all right? And, Carry On films, I mean, they were all written by this one guy, Gerald Thomas. He basically was very prolific with these jokes. And I don't know how much the cast sort of ad-libbed it within that. But they're pretty funny movies. I don't know. They're sort of bad but funny, and and that was British cinema.
Well,
in those days,
the thing with those types of films is they have to be released usually on Region 1 to be viewable over here in the United States.
Yeah, and they're not available here. For whatever reason, they're not liked it because
every once in a while I will find a Carry On film at Streetlight Records on Bascom or at Rasputin's.
One I'd like to see again that I haven't seen in a long time is Carry On Dick. Which
is that a detective story? I hope.
Which is all about Dick Turpin. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
One of the better ones I probably could recommend is Carry On Henry, all about Henry VIII. Okay. That's quite a good one to watch if you've been watching that Thomas Cromwell series. Those Hilary Mantel books. Because Kenneth plays Thomas Cromwell in that.
Helen Mirren still is a very striking woman.
Oh, yeah, okay. When you're bringing it back to Helen Mirren, that's good. So let's get back to Canterbury Tales. So Charles Hawtrey, he's just got a little part. It's very early Charles Hawtrey, and he's playing the guard at the station. And the American GI has got off the train at the wrong stop. He's got off a stop too soon on his way to Canterbury. He wanted to go to Canterbury. And what's interesting about this movie, I found out later, is that the GI was actually played by a GI because they wanted to recruit a GI because it's somewhat a propaganda film. It's it's very much like a Why We Fight film. He arrives in this village late at night, and he meets another girl's just got off the train, and she's a Wren. She's there to do the Women's Royal Auxiliary Service stuff. So what women were doing. Women were not able to fight on the front lines in those days, but they worked, doing all these things. Land girls, they were called. So she's like a land girl.
All right, we actually have people talking to us this morning, which I'm shocked. Oh. First one is Bruce Rayburn replying to Tina. Hi, Tina. I don't have much going on Saturday mornings.
Oh,
My
we
guess
don't
is
see Tina's
Tina
comments though.
is.
For some reason, we're not seeing Tina's comments. Tina's
Yeah,
getting very upset with me that I'm not
I'm gonna
responding to her
open
comments,
up the
but we're not seeing her
Facebook
comments. They're
page
not
and
showing up.
see if your lovely wife's comments are visible.
Yeah, they don't show up.
And Tony's asking, what's the place you have your images put on all the merch? Is that Redbubble?
Oh yeah, my Redbubble store. But if you go to my website,
Hey, Tony.
planetearth.com or also urfspace.com or whelan.com, we'll all get you there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I don't know, Tina. I don't know why we're not getting your comments. Where is she commenting, I wonder?
She might be doing it on Urfspace Live. I'm trying to find out. Oh wow, I'm getting feedback. Hang on.
Feedback.
Yeah.
Don't want
Okay.
feedback.
What are you up to this morning, Tony? Tony thanked us. What else did he say? He said Happy New. No, that was from a while back. No, he said Happy New Year. Oh, yeah, I guess it's Chinese New Year. And then Bruce was reminding us that James Mason is from England. That's the accent. But I think what Bruce, I think what Chuck was referring to was that in the movie Age of Consent, he plays an Australian, so he was trying to do an Australian accent.
He definitely I want to do a movie where I'm not doing my normal James Mason voice. So I'm producing. I think he produced it, Age of Cassette. So let's get back to we're getting back to Powell and Pressburger, all right? Because I want to talk more about Canterbury Tale. Tina's going to tee
my
that.
guest.
So this soldier is played by a GI, and they recruited an actual GI to do it, and he's quite a quirky guy, and talks to Slango, and then suddenly they're trying to find like where they're supposed to be, like somewhere to stay, like the local inn, or he is, and then suddenly somebody runs out of the dark and squirts glue in the girl's hair.
Okay, why does he squirt glue in the girl's hair?
Well, they don't know. They're like, there's a fuss, and they're sort of taken and they're brought to the sort of policeman, the police and everybody, and there's this weird scene where they're washing the glue out of their hair. Well, the whole movie's a bit strange. And they're washing the glue out of the hair. And apparently this glue man's been attacking the land girls, and who's the glue man? And they go up and see the magistrate chap, and he's in this sort of very old. This whole village is very old and antiquated. It's almost medieval.
Okay, take a break here for a second. First of all, Tony's going to his dad's luncheonette in Half Moon Bay. Oh, Half Moon Bay. Go to Pescadero. And then Tony says we see Tina's comments on Urfspace Live. So,
but are you on my Facebook page or the
I
Urfspace
bet he's on
page?
the Facebook page, Urfspace.
Which one? Because it goes to like both my personal page and the Urfspace page.
Well, I'm going to your page, Chuck Whelon.
The Chuck Whelon page, not the Urfspace page.
Okay, it's on your personal page, and I see Tina. Hi, Tina. You're commenting on Facebook, so I'll be going back and forth between this page and other pages.
Does she have some sort of privacy setting on, I wonder?
I have no idea. Is she actually in the house with you right now?
Yeah.
Just have her come down.
Every time we finish one of these shows, I get like in trouble because I wasn't responding to her comments.
You're in trouble because you're a husband.
Well, and various other things that I do.
You're making me want to watch Excalibur today.
Oh yeah, she's good in that too. I think this is actually probably from.
Hey Tony.
This is probably from Age of Consent, actually, because she's holding some sort of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. No, I never really took notice of her as an actress. I mean, besides the fact she was a good actress, but she was on this British TV murder mystery called
Yes.
Prime Suspect.
Prime Suspect. That's where she really became a
God.
household name with that show. Then after Prime Suspect, everybody kind of knew who Helen Mirren was.
Oh yeah, I mean she was in a number of other things like I think like The Cook, The Thief, The Cook,
The Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. I went to see the premiere of that in London. My sister had a boyfriend who was really into Peter Greenaway. Robin, hi Robin. I don't know, he's probably not listening, but I'm still in touch with him on Facebook. He's a good guy. He's a writer. He lives in Spain now, I think, and writes. But he was really into Peter Greenaway.
And I think she was in. I think she was in that kind of spy dance movie called White Nights. No,
I don't know that one. White Nights. You mean with Mikhail Baryshnikov and Gregory Hines?
Yeah,
that was actually a good movie.
Yeah, Gregory Hines was awesome. Mikhail Baryshnikov wasn't bad.
If you're going to see an 80s movie, I would recommend that one.
Actually,
that was like a good 80s movie. There was something about, I don't know what it was because I was quite young obviously when it was out, but there was something about it. I did see it a few times and I liked it, and I'd never quite understood why that one was so good compared to other movies. Maybe Tony, if I saw it again as an adult, I'd understand it better.
Tony is asking, are you using PhotoRef for these Saturday drawings? Would you like me to answer that question, or shall you, Chuck?
I'll answer that one. I'll say yes.
Tony, Chuck says yes. Tony, Chuck is also supposed to do an underdrawing before the show starts, which he didn't do.
I can't be asked with all that. I mean, they do come out better if I do an underdrawing. But this is just a little warm-up one. This, I don't know, she's not gothic fantasy. The trouble is, like, because it's a show, I keep being encouraged to do boxes. And, okay, I don't have a pink. I need like a neon pink.
Tony, Chuck has a iPad off camera, which he uses for reference.
I'm going to have to do a sort of orangey. Oh, I don't like this color at all.
The live drawings are no, we're not. I need underdraw.
I don't have any pink. I need pink.
Oh God, not the markers.
Well, I just want to put a little color in the bottom here. But all right.
You know, I was actually looking at brushes because of you yesterday.
What?
I was looking at brushes yesterday because of you. I went up to California Art Supply on the El Camino in San Mateo, which is kind of like a little mini Flax. And I was looking at various brush pens. They have a number of brush pens from Japan. And if you want to get some nice ink line work, it's a good place to stop to get supplies. Oh, Tony's saying Kolinsky only. Yes, Chuck has 37 Winsor Newtons, which and Tony's saying I am wrong. And that would be the first time.
All right, I'm going to use a little watercolor here because I couldn't find any pink.
Is the watercolor going to smear the marker?
Might do a little, but I'm only using I just want a little touch of pink in here. It's much easier with watercolors, to be honest. Oh, I see. Now I know why this picture.
I wish.
Once I start using the watercolor, then I want to use it more.
No, I'm kind of envious. See, Tony's going to Half Moon Bay. There's a nice little used bookstore in Half Moon Bay. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Half Moon Bay Books.
No,
it's got some. They'll have some twee little name in Half Moon Bay.
What's the name?
It'll be called Bookends or Bookit or.
No.
I'm not very good at coming up with those sort of witty bookshop names, but bookshop owners.
Sell books.
We sell books. That's the name. Ink Spell. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Ink Spell Books is a neat little bookshop.
They can't just call it Smith Books.
No, and
Everything in Half Moon Bay has a cute name.
I've been to Ink Spellbooks. It's a neat little place.
But can we get back to Canterbury Tale?
No, God, you have the world's worst taste in music. Movies.
No, this is a fantastic movie. I haven't even told you what happens in it yet.
Oh, God. All right. So far, someone has squirted ink, glue on a girl's hair.
Yeah, the glue man. They go to see the magistrate, and he's in this very old sort of building, and he's sort of upstairs, and there's this weird sort of bar across, and everything's very sort of old and medieval in this village. It's rather lost
The
in
village
time.
of Canterbury.
Well, it's near to Canterbury. It's not actually in Canterbury.
Yeah, it's Ink Spellbooks. It's okay. It's a neat little used bookstore.
Okay, we're at cross purposes.
Well, I'm talking to Tony.
Right, I appreciate you servicing. I appreciate you doing the fan service.
Oh, and I haven't checked on Tina in a minute.
Right, well, yeah, Tony's priority. Yeah, Tony's good. Tony's the kind of he's the kind of viewer we want on this show. Tony and Bruce, they're the kind of viewers we need.
Yeah,
and Tina.
And Amber's talking to me in the background because I haven't been doing my homework.
Yeah, you've got to do your homework before you come on the show. You were berating me because I didn't do an underdrawing. That is just reflective of the fact that you haven't done anything.
I'm in my sketchbook every day at 1 a.m. so I can go to sleep.
Yeah, that's not when you're supposed to be doing it.
Oh, God, Amber's still messaging me. I'm in such trouble. Oh, I'm doomed.
All right. Well, actually, she's looking a bit more like Helen Mirren now, surprisingly.
Okay. And also your wife is like messaging me, wondering why we're not responding.
Yeah, I don't know, dear. That's one of those things. I can't help it. I mean, you must have some privacy setting, I think. You maybe put on some privacy setting on your Facebook, or are you on your phone? I mean, but you're saying just Restream that's not seeing it. We're just not seeing the comment on Restream. I mean, is she commenting in the same place as Tony?
No. Well, maybe she is.
Because Tony's on Facebook. I mean, her comments interspersed with Tony's on Facebook.
Oh, I'm in such trouble. So, all
right. Well, I'm quite happy with that.
We'll talk more about the movies.
Yeah, hang on. Right, I'm about to start on the drawing now. Okay, well, all right. So, yeah, and then they meet another guy who's like, he's a British soldier. And they talk a lot about their life, and they're going to fight. Like, D-Day's coming up. But that sort of becomes apparent as it goes on. And, he's trying to get to Canterbury. But you have these experiences in this quirky village. And eventually they do get to Canterbury. And then Canterbury, it's being filmed in Canterbury, and Canterbury's all bombed out, and it shows you all the buildings and everything that's bombed out around Canterbury and around the cathedral. I mean, it was very lucky the Canterbury Cathedral, which is the biggest cathedral in England, didn't get bombed in the war, because, there's literally craters right next to it. So that's a very sort of scene, because you're like, oh, wow, yes, we're right in the middle of the freaking war. And they go to this big service for all the soldiers that are about to go off to the war. And the other British soldier they met, he had a sort of dream of being an organist, and he gets to play the organ. And, they all sort of get their blessings. The soldier gets there, he meets his friend. Oh, and then it has a marijuana reference. His friend goes on about drinking tea, and he says, oh, tea, it's like marijuana. It's just something you take. So I'm like, yeah, because there's quite a bit of a potheady movie. It's like a closet pothead propaganda movie in the middle of the war. There's sort of bits where they're sort of lying around in fields and ruminating and things like that. And
this is another movie with fields in it.
With what?
With fields in it.
Yes, fields in England. God. Yes. So it's the spiritual ancestor of the movie A Field in England, no doubt. Although interesting, The Field in England is set in an earlier historical period during the Civil War. So these two movies you absolutely have to watch.
Tony is asking us, because I brought up Benny Hill, what about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Oh, yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, that's one I grew up with.
Yeah, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang had Benny Hill, if I remember right, as a toy maker.
And that's right. He was the toy maker.
Benny Hill had a few movie roles. He was in The Italian Job with Michael Caine, but his movie career never really took off. He was his big success was television.
Oh yes, he was. Yes, The Italian Job. He was very good in The Italian Job. He was like
Uh,
a weird computer nerd. That was funny. That was sort of appropriate. He was the original creepy computer nerd. He was trying to sort of feel up girls on the bus and things like.
oh yeah, he was a complete bird. I love that movie. You know why?
Yes.
Because there's no fields in it.
Oh, I didn't know this. Jane Leeves from Frasier was a Benny Hill girl.
Everyone knows that.
I'm going to draw her.
Jane Leeves was also in the American pilot for Red Dwarf.
Oh. Well,
Yeah,
what
but
do you
she
think?
was
You
a
never
Hill's
know.
Angel. You can find clips of her in the Benny Hill show on YouTube. Yeah, Benny Hill plays a doctor and tells her that she has the Egyptian flu.
We managed to do this one sideways, though. Well,
Wait, what did Tony say? I didn't. I don't know what Tony's referring to.
he didn't
You're
know
gonna
that
draw
Jane
Jane
Leeves
Leeves?
was a Benny Hill girl. I'm assuming that's what he's saying.
No, she was brilliant on Frasier. That was her breakout role.
Oh yeah, she's not in the new Frasier, but they have a character who's like her and Niles' son, and he's actually done quite well. He's like he does seem to be a mix of Niles and Daphne. He's got like all Niles' sort of prettiness and all of, but unlike Niles was clever, but he's kind of stupid like Daphne. So.
My favorite routine on that show is when David Hyde Pierce and Kelsey Grammer are talking about what carpet color they're going to bring in, and it's just another shade of white, and they're going through all these names of shades of white.
Yeah.
And there's a new color that's been added, and they're both mind blown by this new version of white. I thought that was brilliant.
I think they got that from American Psycho, where he's going on about the business cards and the eggshell, the different the different fonts.
The reason it's funny, I mean, is if you were an art student, you know that that's an actual argument that you get into about these colors. I was talking to, the guy who draws Too Much Coffee Man. I think it's
Shannon Wheeler.
Yeah, Shannon Wheeler. We were talking about color the other day, and I was recommending to him James Gurney's book, Color for the Realist Painter. But Shannon
Does James Gurney pay you some sort of stipend for are you like on some painter?
Oh, I would have killed for those books when I was a kid. They were awesome. Oh,
yeah,
Amber says hi. Right. Amber's chased me to the show. I'm so screwed.
That's a good teacher. That's patient.
But no, Shannon Wheeler, he did pre-press work, if I remember right. So he knows color. It's just I don't know if he's going to be adding some color to his work, which is a little weird because he's been doing some amazing stuff for the New Yorker.
Oh yeah. He's a really funny guy. He's really funny.
Oh,
I've loved his comics, and that was one of the first Comic Cons they did at like the Ape at San Francisco or something in the 90s, and he came up to me at the table there. He was sort of wandering around, and I was very excited. So, like that was like me. I felt like, it was sort of early days, and I was just starting out. And all this.
Okay, Tony's taken off. He's going to Half Moon Bay for food and bookstores. Have fun over there. If you get to Pacifica, Tony, there's a good bakery and a good bookstore. And oh God, Amber's screaming, do your homework. I can't do it while I'm on the show.
Yeah, this is his homework. This is his homework for me. He's got more than one class going on.
After the
This is
show,
me.
I will work on it.
He comes on this show to educate me. So Amber's educating Dale. Dale's educating me. I'm educating fleas.
No, I'm. Oh, thanks, Tony. There's a rocking cannabis dispensary in Pacifica next to the bookstore. I was shocked. It's probably the most.
Cannabis dispensaries.
It's probably the biggest business in Pacifica, from what I saw.
Cannabis.
Oh, I mean, it's not like a one you'd see in Santa Cruz, but I mean, it was a nice looking, friendly shop.
Now, has anybody opened a cannabis/comic store? Because that would be popular.
I don't know if you could do that legally.
Well, in the old days, all the head shops. I mean, they're like all those underground
all
comics
the head shops
appeared
sold.
in the head shops, didn't they?
Supposedly, comic book stores evolved from head shops. You used to be able to get the Freak Brothers at Paramount Imports in San Jose, which is San Jose's premier classic head shop. But a cannabis store is not a head shop.
Well, no, right now they're more like a sort of, they try to pretend to be like some sort of a pharmacy or something.
No, they try to be the Apple Store.
Or the Apple Store, yeah.
I swear.
They're like a sort of a medical version of the Apple Store.
I swear that's the model they're shooting for.
Well, I guess the Apple Store was somewhat successful, even though most people hated it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I suppose there were some people.
Gee, I wonder who you're referring to.
I suppose, some of these modern kids, they just grew up and they think the Apple Store is cool and all that. They don't have any fucking idea.
According to Amber, comic book stores evolved from dime stores way back in the 20s and 30s. The problem is we don't have the right guest on to talk about that. We would want to talk to Lee Hester or from Lee's Comics or
Yes.
Dick Swan from Big Guys Comics. They would know. I can tell you that in San Jose, the legendary comic collector shop run by Bob Sidebottom, it was dirty, it was grungy, he played jazz music, he yelled at the kids. It had the vibe of a head shop.
Yeah.
Okay. According to Amber, there's a book, Men of Tomorrow, Geek Gangsters and the History of the Comic Book. Okay. I'll have to look.
Oh, yeah. Yes, and then you can read Cavalier and Clay as well. The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay.
I'd rather talk to the comic book store owners. I didn't know this, but according to Lee, he had a big problem with shoplifting.
Well, yes, I was reading articles about these kids. This guy in England in his early 20s got arrested for burglarizing game stores. Like he was addicted to World of Warcraft.
I believe
That's quite an expensive hobby if you're really going to buy all those miniatures. So those two little miniatures, you can use a cardboard cutout. You don't have to have like real actual miniatures. You know what Gary Gygax said? There's all this stuff, like all these. The reason there are all these different RPGs of this, that, and the other is because, as Gary Gygax said, you don't actually need any rules at all. You just need the dice and the pencil and paper and dice. I mean, and the rest of it, you should just make it up as you go. I mean, it's really that simple. So yeah, anybody can make any sort of rules they want.
Well, I think that first let me respond to Amber. Amber is saying that the book Cavalier and Clay, they just read the book Men of Tomorrow and turned that into fiction.
Well, yeah, probably.
What you were saying about Dungeons and Dragons, I remember when that became a fad. And
still a fad.
Well, it's a very long fad.
It's a big fad. More than fad. It's a whole new way of life.
What I saw happen is instead of kids getting into toy soldiers, they got into Dungeons and Dragons figures.
Yeah, because
And
Dungeons and Dragons told you how
they're
you
in
can play with
essence
your
the same
toy
thing.
soldiers. You know,
And Amber is commenting on the noise of your pens.
is it
She
too
says
noisy?
squeaky.
Is it giving you a headache?
She's right. You have squeaky pens. I do like this drawing, but it's kind of hard to go wrong with Jane Leaves. And
I
Amber.
didn't realize that she'd been such a sexy Benny Hill girl.
Oh, she was also in, I think, one of David Lee Roth's music videos when he went solo from Van Halen.
And then she got that Frasier money. So now what? Now she lives in a mansion doing
I
whatever she
can't
wants.
remember if she was on Seinfeld before Frasier.
Oh yeah, she was the Virgin on Seinfeld.
But I love Frasier. Of course, everyone did. That was a hugely popular show.
That's why she was so funny in The Virgin, because like clearly when she was a Benny Hill girl, she was doing something very opposite.
No, she has great comic timing.
Well, it's all that practice with Benny Hill. I mean, Benny Hill definitely he valued a joke. You know, he was really very serious as a joke writer, I think.
Amber says she's been watching Frasier on Pluto.
Yeah. What do you think of it? I don't know. Tina wasn't that keen on it. She loved Frasier, and I was like, oh, that's odd that she doesn't like this one very much.
And I
I thought it was
forgot
all right.
to say earlier, Amber also brought up the actress who played Lilith on Cheers and Frasier. Oh, what was her name?
Oh yeah, of course. Bebe Neuwirth.
Bebe Neuwirth.
I don't quite know how to pronounce it. Yeah.
She has a huge career on Broadway.
Good for her. But what was that? Is that why Amber was bringing her up? Just.
I think Amber was we were talking about hot actresses on Frasier.
Was Bebe Neuwirth hot? I don't know. I suppose so.
Bebe Neuwirth? Oh my God. Yeah. She's a dancer.
I thought she was a bit scary.
Dancers are scary.
Oh, she was a dancer before she was Lilith? Well, I think she's just a good actress. That's why she, you know.
Well, I think because she was on Broadway. Uh-oh, Amber's upset with us.
What have we done now?
She yelled, "Oh my God." And I don't know if it's me or you.
What have we done? What happened?
Now, Chuck, we want to remind the audience that you're doing this for what purpose? Exercise?
Yeah, just a little drawing fun.
Okay. Do you
can buy the drawings? I mean, you know, if you like them.
Do you think that this regular exercise transfers to your other professional work?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And Amber is agreeing with me that Bebe Neuwirth is so hot.
She's so hot. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. Well. Sure, she's hot. Yeah, no. I mean, I saw her in other things. I was like, oh, she's not really that person. Yeah, I don't know. You know.
Well, she was. I never really saw her in much other than. I think
she's in Jumanji.
I'm sorry.
She's in Jumanji or Jumanji.
I don't remember that.
Say it. You don't remember Jumanji?
Are you talking about the movie with Robin Williams?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
She's the aunt. They go stay with their aunt. You know, she's the adult in the room. But you don't remember that?
No, my memory's been destroyed by old age. I'm slowly sliding to my dotage.
Well, I thought it was notable because I was like, oh, there she is. I haven't seen her in anything else. But now she's in Jumanji. She was playing a sort of nice character. She was playing a nice aunt.
You know, I'm looking at your drawing here, and I'm thinking about.
It's a slightly weird.
I spoke briefly
this one's not coming out
with Olivia Desbarnez a few weeks ago. Olivia, the just classic pinup airbrush artist, She's actually taken up ZBrush. She's doing sculpture figures of her iconic pinups. I can't believe that she's picked up ZBrush. I shouldn't.
I hate it when artists do that. They're like really good artists, and then they pick up a digital tool and they start doing a load of crap.
No, not this case.
No.
No, I'm just amazed. I had no idea that she was doing sculpture, and I'm just blown away by what she was showing.
Okay.
Oh, is that a
I
leopard?
Say so, Dale, but I don't know. I'd rather just see some more proper Olivias and see like a bunch of.
There's nothing proper about any Olivia work.
What?
There's nothing proper about any of that work.
Well, right.
I've met her. She's great.
Is she? What's she like?
Oh my God.
Is she tall? Is she short?
She's a lovely woman. She's quite attractive.
She's attractive.
And what makes her even more attractive is she is a fan of the Pache AB Turbo airbrush. And she's able to get parts for it still because the people at Pache were her fans. So they're still giving her parts to keep her brushes running. And she'll on her Facebook page, she'll show progress work. So she'll do a lot of underpainting with markers, and it just works.
Okay, I think I'm not really liking this one. I'm finding like I wasn't that happy the other time I drew Jane Leaves. She's not.
Well, okay, if you're not happy, you got to keep doing her until you're happy.
Yeah.
You know you're not gonna.
And then I can leave her once I'm happy. Then
Yes, you can leave her. Okay, and Amber is saying that conventions they have to put Post-it notes over the nipples of Olivier's pinups. That doesn't surprise me.
There you go.
I saw the first original. I had looked at her work for years, but it was decades before I saw an original. And I was at Monster Palooza. Oh, I wanted to cry. It was so good.
All right.
I should have been a pinup artist.
Well, I'm calling that one done too. I'm going to see how many I can do today.
Okay. Are you going to do another attractive young woman, or are you going to try a different subject to push yourself? Like, I'll tell you who you should do. You should do Walter Matthau.
Walter Matthau.
Yeah, or Leo McKern. Leo
I can't.
McKern.
When you draw something, you have to become them. And I like to become a sexy girl and not Walter Matthau.
Yeah, that's starting to bother me.
That doesn't bother you.
Drop Peter Bowles.
Peter Bowen is that? I'll do Walter Matthau. All right, I'll have a go at Walter Matthau.
No. Leo McKern. Leo McKern is
no one knows who that is.
Lost in. Do Leo McKern.
But nobody knows who that is.
You know who Leo McKern is. He was on Space 1999.
He's Rumpole of the Bailey.
Yeah.
He does look a bit like. He does look quite a lot like Walter Matthau, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's the nose. He and Carl Malden.
I don't know.
Yeah, the conventions they have to put a post-it note over Leo McKern's nose.
Really?
Draw whatever you want. It's your exercise. I mean, don't push yourself. Just do the easy things.
I pushed myself when I got out of bed this morning. It's not about it being easy. It's about being what I can connect to.
No, this is supposed to be exercise. You're supposed to be drawing things that you're not good at so you can get good at it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to draw the Pomfar woman. or whatever she is, was from some Star Trek episode. I had this image saved. People like.
You're going to draw the actress who played T'Pring.
Is it T'Pring? She's got some sort of big flipper spear thing.
Okay. Does this mean that it's from the original series or
Yes.
Okay, not
TOS.
not the Next Generation or Strange New Worlds. Because she's a character on Strange New Worlds.
I don't know. I tried watching Strange New Worlds. I thought it was terrible. I was like, why is everybody so excited about this show?
No.
Maybe it was just a bad episode.
Oh, okay. Are you drawing T'Pau or T'Pring?
It's not T'Pau.
Okay, you're drawing the young, attractive T'Pring.
T'Pau was that band.
No, I'm not talking. Yes, it was a band. I'm talking about Spock's fiance or Spock's relative. You're doing the fiance. Okay.
I'm the one that I can't really remember. They had to do a fight.
Yes. That's the greatest fight in television history.
Okay. I'm reading. By the way, thank you for introducing me to Joe. I'm not quite sure how you say his last name. Sikarak? Is that right? Am I saying that right? I don't have it in front of me. Joe Sick. S-I-K. This seems to be what he goes by.
Oh yeah, Joe Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw him at
clothings. Like, what is she wearing? We
saw him at
it's like a collar.
Concord Comic-Con.
Yeah, and he was at East Bay there, the East Bay Comic-Con, yes.
Yeah, East Bay Comic-Con. Yeah,
this was a very fun show. That was good, and thanks for coming out to that last week.
Yeah, you made me sit at your table. You brought your son and his friend, and I still ended up sitting at your table.
I brought my son and his friend, but I don't know where they were most of the time. They popped in once in a while so I could take a bathroom break. But fortunately, when you turned up, I was really desperate for that.
Yeah, I knew I was going to get stuck at your table.
What's wrong with that? Most people would be honoured to sit at an
should have given away all your stuff. Yeah, we haven't talked about the Concord the East Bay Comic-Con. That was a fun little show, man.
Really was, yeah. I liked it a lot. And my friend Katie, well, I don't know that well, but Katie, who does the Dragon Child, she was there, and she said that was her first ever show. She's been doing it for 10 years. It was the first Comic-Con she ever did in the second year that they did that show. And she really likes it too.
I would go to that show again. I'm hoping that it's run by the same people who do the San Jose Comic-Con. And I think also the Bakersfield Comic-Con.
Yes, they do. Yes,
I was surprised by,
and they do a sort of DisneyCon or something.
Yeah, they do some Disney cons. I was surprised by the guests at the East Bay Comic-Con. They had pal Brent Anderson, Mark Baudet. God, I can't remember.
I guess Mark Baudet, does he live around here? Is he in the Bay Area?
I think Mark Baudet may be in the Bay Area. Brent Anderson lives above San Francisco, and Steve, is it La Jolla? He's Trina Robbins was there. I know they're in San Francisco.
Trina Robbins. Yeah, well, she came by the table, and Steve Lael. What the hell was that?
That wasn't me. Was that some sort of digestive thing?
I don't know. I did like somebody firing a machine gun in the street. Might have been Tina moving furniture upstairs.
Okay. And I'm trying to remember who else was there. Lee Hester from Lee's Comics. I was surprised. The people from the Batcave drove down from Santa Rosa and had a table of kaiju. for sale. And
Bless you.
trying to remember who else was there. There were a handful of regulars that you see. I guess the next big show is going to be the San Jose Super Toy Show in March at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds. Oh, that's not from. Okay, that's from a different episode, you buffoon.
Yeah, I was a bit confused on the episode. Yes, they had to fight this woman. They were like put in an arena.
Yes,
Fight her. It
that
wasn't
is actually the actress Angelique Pettyjohn, and that is the Gamesters of Triskelon. She, in the 80s, would actually go to conventions to sign autographs, and she would wear that outfit. And lovely woman.
So you met her?
Yeah, long time ago. And this was before all these actors that nowadays every actor signs autographs for money. But she was kind of a pioneer of that because I had never seen that before at a convention. And this is back at Baycon in the 80s.
Once again, I'm not this not pre-drawing as we run out of space.
I think you're doing great. Keep going.
Okay, thank you.
This is exercise for you. Push through the pain.
Yeah, well, often with these drawings, like there can be a point where I'm like, oh, it's all going wrong. But if you keep going with it, then it comes back again.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed that convention. I mean, the South Bay and San Francisco, we don't really have big conventions anymore since we lost WonderCon. So
yeah,
these smaller ones. Oh yeah, and Ape. God, I miss Ape.
The Alternative Press Expo.
Yeah.
I'm going to cheat and use a ruler here.
Amber's got to go. Watched you while.
Oh, Amber! I didn't even know she was still here. Thanks for tuning in, Amber.
Say hello to your kid and your hubby and the cat.
Oh, and check out Amber's show later today. Amber is doing her Philo show at 6 p.m.
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta watch that.
Where she did, and Amber actually, I didn't realize like all those years. Well, all that time, however long it was, we were doing this show. I didn't realize like how professional Amber's Philo show was. It was, I went and watched some episodes. I was like, oh, she was doing a really professional show, and she's actually a really good host.
No, I've been on.
You never have guessed if you'd seen this. No, she was good on the show too. I was impressed with her professionality.
I've watched Amber's Philo show. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, you can watch back episodes on YouTube.
It's just kind of painful for me because she's pretty damn good.
Wait, okay, there's a little bit. All right, I don't like doing these celebrity ones as much. All right, I'm pushing myself because you told me to.
No, I was watching Sergio Aragona's draw last night, and I forgot that every once in a while he pulls out the French curves and the ruler for his props, especially the swords. I need to pull out the ruler more when doing some of the drawing. And then Tom Luth told me this morning that I should be using the rulers and stuff on the underdrawing and then ink freehand on top of the ruled line. And that way I get the life in the inked line.
Yeah, I'll do that a lot, yeah. But anybody who tells you should do something or you have to do it this way, they're full of shit.
That's true, but I respect Mr. Aragona's and I respect Tom Luth.
Yeah. Well, they're respectable guys.
Yeah. not so much about you, but
No, you know me too well. That's the trouble.
yeah, I'm never going to forgive you for making me watch A Field in England.
Well, watch the Canterbury Tale as a sort of counterpoint to that.
Oh yeah,
And,
you've really sold me on that.
No, because then you'll get like stereoscopic vision, and you'll understand it. It's a bit like if you just watch A Field in England on its own without having watched a Canterbury Tale. It's like seeing, it's only see one part of the magic eye picture. So yeah, it just looks like a confusing blur. But once you've like expanded your brain a little bit by watching Canterbury Tale, the Canterbury Tale's far less weird. I mean, it's a bit weird, but it's far less weird.
Yeah, everything is less weird than A Field in England.
Very sad. It's got a caravan in it. There's caravan.
Yeah.
There's
Zardoz.
not really any romance. They both sort of like the girl, but she's sad because her fiance's been missing in action.
Compared to A Field in England,
she'd come there with her boyfriend for a holiday, before the war, and they had a really nice holiday. And there's no Nazis in it, just the threatening fact that Nazis have fucked up everybody's lives. That we're all having to fight a war. And
the Nazis are implied. Yeah,
I mean, well, they're all going off to die fighting Nazis. Yeah, fucking Nazis.
Yeah.
And now we're bringing them back. Now they're fashionable again. Now everywhere you look, there's fucking Nazis all over the television, all over
we had
reality
to talk about
TV. Everything's nothing but fucking Nazis everywhere you go nowadays.
Chuck, we talked about this. No Nazis. Which is ironic because it's ironic because the project that my cat's working on has lots of Nazis.
Are they being killed?
Yes.
All right, that's fine then. What was that? Oh, there was quite a good one. That guy with the tank in Norway. That was quite a good one. Did you see that one?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's that. I forgot what it's called, but it was good. It was very pulpy. It was almost like a 70s sort of war movie or something.
No, you have to remember that people in the United States, we grew up, in my age, you grew up with Hogan's Heroes. So,
well, yeah, I've never seen that. I think that was considered too crap to be shown in England. But we had our own crap. When it came to that, we had Allo Allo, where they were sort of that was like Are You Being Served, but in the French Resistance.
Yes. Hello. I don't
think that was as popular, but I think it's on Amazon right now.
A huge popular one over here on PBS.
Which one? What was that?
Hello. That was.
Oh, it was on PBS.
No, but one that was.
They kind of had it all on because it went on for a long time. That show. There was a lot of series of that, as far as I remember.
No. Okay, Bruce Rayburn says SISU, Sisu.
Oh, Sisu. Yes, that's the movie I'm talking about. Yes. Bruce saw it. Did you like it, Bruce?
Bruce has not responded.
We'll give him a minute. There's a delay.
Where is Bruce located?
Well, I don't know.
Loved it. It is a killer.
Yeah.
Is that where it's the old man with the beard who's killing all the?
Yeah.
That's okay. I may have seen parts of that.
Well. Okay. This one's not.
Bruce is in the East Bay.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. He's in the East Bay. Yeah. That's right. He's right about that. He knows where he is.
He's one up on me.
Why is that one up on? I don't know where you are. I see.
I went to go to Redwood City yesterday, and I ended up in San Mateo.
I'm sorry to hear that. Oh yeah, how did that go? You went to the horror shop that was closing?
Yes. Well, first of all, I overshot it because I was talking to you on the phone.
Well, I ask you to call me.
And I ended up in San Mateo, so I stopped at California Art Supplies to look at brush pens and
Uh-huh.
curse you most of the time.
Me?
And
I'm
Ron,
not
who
even
was
using a
my
brush pen.
boss
This
years
drawing would
ago,
probably be better if I did use a brush pen. Maybe I'll get my brush pen out.
Ron, who was my boss years ago at Flax, who was always thankful that I didn't burn the store down with my incompetence. He's gotten some nice brush pens in from Japan. So if you're just want to do some comic inking, swing by California Art Supply in San Mateo. But then I drove down to House of Humor. House of Humor is, I can't really think of any other costume shops in this below San Francisco except for Natasha's Attic. Um, but House of Humor is on the El Camino in Redwood City. It's, I don't know how many decades it's been there, but they just announced in the news a day or two ago that they're going to have to move. They, I guess they're having, they had a problem negotiating with the landlord. And so I went up there
Yeah.
because everything's half off, and I bought gorilla suit accessories, um, like some funny.
Well, yeah. What is wrong with these landlords? They want to put everybody's rent up all the time.
Well, that's an old street side little building strip mall. So I was talking to people about that. I don't know the motivation of it, but I have to wonder if they're going to tear that out and put a new building in. But
Yeah.
according to the people at House of Humor, they're going to look for a new building or a new storefront in Redwood City. And that's a good thing because
Yeah.
I was in there picking up clown noses and funny hats, and
As you do.
I was listening to customers come in and tell the owner, "Hey, you know, I've been coming here since childhood. My parents brought me here," and it's really a loss for the Bay Area. I mean, it, I believe it will reopen somewhere, but you know, you lose the history of one of these stores, and that's a bad thing.
Well, we probably shouldn't open in a strip mall because those things aren't really built to last.
Well, I don't know how many decades it's been there. I mean, I've gone there.
So just being facetious. I'm being
And,
facetious.
you know, I was
I'm
listening.
going back to England, so I'm getting all my insults from America in before I
Well,
come
you know, one person was saying how that
back. Me back.
when people would come in from out of town, they would take them to the House of Humor because it was such a weird, magical place. And I was kind of laughing at it. And then I realized I've done exactly that. My buddy Steve Lee from Hong Kong, I took him there because I wanted to buy him a Santa suit.
Well, Dale, yeah, and then that's why I have you on the show, is because you make it a more weird and magical place.
I am weird and magical.
Yeah.
No. But the thing is, what really has killed the costume stores is those seasonal spirit pop-up stores that sell the cheap ass costumes, and that takes business away from the costume stores at one of their busiest times per year.
All right, I'm quite quits on that one. If I was doing it properly, I'd do all the background in black. Maybe I will. Should I do that?
No, move on to the next one.
It'll take a long time. Maybe I'll do that later.
You have less than an hour for your last drawing.
Less than an hour. Okay, I've got
Yeah.
3 done. I thought I cut 6 pieces of paper, so I was going to try and do 6.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
I'm going to get 6. That way, I've done more drawings today to make up because I won't be here the next few weeks.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the show will not be here next week. It will be a whole brand new show when you come back. Chuck may have a different hairstyle.
All right.
I may be sober.
Ooh, Sexy Lady Davros. That's a good one.
But I felt bad. I was walking around the House of Humor, and a young woman came in asking about gorilla suits. And I knew that they didn't have any because I had already
Oh my god.
asked.
Were you immediately attracted to her?
I did go over and speak to her, and I gave her gorilla suit reference information.
Yeah.
Yeah, world's worst pickup line.
Well, I mean, she came in asking about it, you know. But yeah. All right, let's see.
But I turned her on to a couple of websites about gorilla suits.
Oh, yeah. Well, going back to East Bay Comic Con, I had a very nice neighbor. Talking about attractive people, I had a very nice neighbor. She was had a superhero comic, Resilience. Jessica, Jessica, Jessica Jane Robinson. Robertson, and she has a comic called Resilience, and she was dressed as her superhero character. She looked really great.
Was that the young woman who's to the right of you facing your table?
Yeah, yeah, just next to me.
I
Yes,
didn't.
the two
I didn't take
right
a.
left. Yeah.
I didn't take a close look. I was. I was busy looking at old stuff there because I'm old.
Oh, here's a funny Gina Davis one. That's really gonna fit there.
It's hard for me to get into the newer comic stuff unless someone shoves it in my face. I still stick with the old artists that I'm familiar with.
The old familiar.
Yeah, like you.
I don't know what I'm drawing now.
Oh, I'll tell you something that's interesting. Sergio was talking last night. He's still cranking out Gru, and whenever they get a story done, which is usually
Yes.
about 4 or 5 comics, he has them. Well, Dark Horse repackages them as a graphic novel. But he was showing that in the new graphic novel, which is a collection of his In the Wild Gru story, he's including at the back of the graphic novel examples of the artwork in black and white before it's colored.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting because I know that he said that he treats those illustrations as if they're to be reproduced in black and white, even though he knows they're going to be colored. So it's interesting to see them in black and white. But that's just me. I'm a huge nerd.
Well, you can say that again.
That's just me. I'm a huge nerd.
All right. I don't know what to draw now. Can you give me something other than Walter Matthau?
You have not drawn a building or a machine or a vehicle. You really ought to pick a car, like an old car.
Well, I'm not sure who this character is. I'm going to draw it. I don't like drawing machines and cars.
Well, that's why you should be drawing them.
I'm going to draw this lady. You've got to tell me what she's from because I don't really know. She's wearing a crazy outfit.
So you want me to identify the actress and
Yeah, I want you to tell me what this is because I don't even know what it is.
All right.
It's from something.
Just draw it and I'll be able to identify it. I'm smart that way.
It's a really weird costume. This weird sort of headdress here. Seems like it's from must be from Buck Rogers or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, is it Princess Amidala?
I don't think so, no.
In the 25th century?
No, it's not her. I've done her before.
All right.
But it's something like that.
I can't believe that I remember the name of that character.
Well, you didn't. You muddled it up. It's Princess Ardala.
Princess Ardala,
Princess,
whatever.
like Amidala. Wait, that's something different.
Is that a mask? Was that a headdress?
It's like a sort of headband thing she's wearing.
Okay. Is she blonde?
No, she's more like a redhead, I think, or brunette, like reddish brown.
All right. I was wondering if it was the
I'm not sure when someone's like, she's sort of in between where you say she had brown hair, red. Some people would say, oh, she's a redhead. I don't know. I've done her head too big again. All right. I'm not going to get all this crazy body of hers in. Maybe it get harder to identify her.
Does it have a Hammer movie vibe to it?
I'd say no.
All right.
But it's got more of a sort of early 80s vibe, I think. Hammer's more sort of 70s, generally.
Yes.
Where can you see those now?
The Hammer movies?
Yeah.
I honestly do not know. You can see some of them on Tubi. I think some of them are scattered around the various streaming services. But if you're talking about the rare ones, like The Lost Continent and 5
Lost
Million Years.
Continent?
Yeah.
I don't know the Lost Continent. What's that one?
That's where some people on a ship in the I think it's the 1950s or 1960s, get lost in the what is that part of the ocean that's just mired in seaweed?
The Sargasso Sea.
Sargasso Sea. And in the Sargasso Sea,
like Columbus got stuck in the Sargasso Sea.
In the Sargasso Sea, there is man-eating seaweed, and you have to walk around with balloons on your shoulders to keep you from sinking. And it's really,
that stuff is horrible. Yes, I've encountered Sargasso seaweed, and it's really horrible stuff.
And the little colony of shipwrecked sailors is ruled by the Spanish Inquisition. It was a Hammer film. And 5 Million Years to Earth, which in England was referred to as Quatermass in the Pit, was
Quatermass in the Pit. Yes,
that was a remake of a TV miniseries, and it's the story of discovering a UFO while digging the tube, the subway.
Yes, that's right.
That's an amazing movie.
It's great.
It was kind of readapted into the movie Life Force in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, Light Force, Toby Hooper.
Yeah, that is a great flick. Matilda May. Was
I never saw that again.
I
should see that, yeah.
What?
I never saw that again, I don't think. Not since the 80s.
Oh, I watched that every year.
Not like Zardoz that you watch every week.
Every day. Not all of it, but I'll watch a little clip.
Oh, okay. You don't watch all of it every day.
No.
Just a minute or two.
That's why you have it on your
hand
phone.
in. Yeah. Well, you got to keep your hand in, yeah. Otherwise, you might start forgetting what it's all about.
No, I won't.
Well, that's good. Don't you want to forget it? Like, what you should do is you should start drinking really heavily so that you forget everything, and then every time you saw Zardoz, you'd be like seeing it for the first time.
I don't drink anymore.
Well, that's going to spoil your enjoyment of Zardoz.
No, nothing will spoil my enjoyment of Zardoz.
Sorry, yeah, I don't want to undermine your sobriety.
No, but that's a discussion that we have with various movie watching groups that I'm part of. Is because of streaming, a lot of movies get scattered amongst the different streaming services. So really, what you want to do is Go to your local used record store that sells DVDs and Blu-rays and buy physical copies. And you probably want to invest
Oh
in.
yes, Amber was posting something about that, about like some anime site where people had bought all this content and now they're just sorry, we're deleting it all. You don't have access to it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell?
Yeah. The problem, though, with
Well,
physical,
that what are you gonna do? You get sued? That won't work because it'll cost you a lot of money.
the problem with buying physical content, though, is everyone was under the impression that CDs and DVDs would last forever, but that's not the case. I learned a couple years ago about something called disc rot. And depending on how those discs are stored, they will delaminate. Oh, I know this character, but I'm trying to remember what from.
From something like that. Buck Rogers or something. Must be. It's not
No.
Doctor Who. It's way too sexy for Doctor Who. I just tell Doctor Who. Doctor Who's been walking the right line. Like, you know, once in a while they'll have some sort of sexy villain, but even then, you know, there's more to her.
No, I liked the.
I always like. She
Well, I
was.
liked
Sorry,
the Women on Space 1999.
right, you say I'm not challenging myself, but this is a really weird pose. Can I just say this?
Yeah, it is.
It's all going to make sense when I get to the end, but
This is very Vegas. Is this Vegas in space?
it seems like it. Is there a movie called Space Vegas? Because I think that's what it's
Yeah,
supposed to be
there
from.
actually is something called Vegas in space. If I've nailed this, then I get to.
I don't know what it's from. You have to tell me. God, I don't know what it is.
No. Let
Oh, I
me.
see. Okay. Well, I enjoy these things. Like when you draw these costumes, you realize all the little intricacies of them that aren't like immediately obvious when you look at them. I'm very interested in the costume designer's art at this point.
No, I guess it's not Vegas in space.
It's not Vegas in space. No,
No,
I don't think it's from Vegas in space. It doesn't feel like Vegas in space would be the right title.
but that costume is sort of a.
It's quite a
Very
hard costume to
showgirls.
draw. The
And
trouble
you
is, I
did
look at that and I go, "Oh, I want to draw that," and then I start drawing it. I'm like, "Oh, this is difficult."
well. You did a very nice job on on her on her secondary sexual characteristics.
Well, sometimes they come out a bit wobbly with this technique. Um, hmm. Wait, where? Where? Okay.
God, freaking 80s.
It is hot, but now the young people don't know. Young people are like, "Oh, we're elders to them." They call us elders. Did you know that?
I I haven't really received much snark from young pups. That's just because I don't deal with any of them.
Well,
You
all
have
I can say is they're coming out stupider than ever.
well, you have to deal with someone young all the time. I mean, I
Oh well,
just
he's a good lad, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough for them these days.
oh yeah, it's a different world.
Oh, I watched. We watched a good movie last night. We watched the Holdovers with Paul Giamatti.
Oh, I haven't seen that. He's a good actor.
Uh, definitely, he was very good in this. Actually,
You realize that this is a show for older people. We're just random. We're just rambling like idiots
yeah.
while you
Well, I'm
draw.
doing the kind of drawings that elders like.
when you come back from the show, I'm sorry, when you come back from this trip, we're going to have to figure out how I can
It's not a
draw and
show.
you can draw at the same time. I feel naked that I don't get to draw. Wow, this is definitely an outfit for church. Now,
Yeah.
what are you using? You're using a fine point Sharpie?
Yeah.
And why have you chosen a fine point Sharpie?
Because it's Saturday morning and I don't want to work. Otherwise, there are other tools you could use. You could use. I see that's in the wrong place. That something went wrong somewhere. Right. Fine.
Okay. Now, you picked that image, so you should be able to see what the source of it is.
No, because the thing is, like, I'll be browsing on Facebook and then I'll see something. Someone will post, or it'll be some group, and it will say, remember when people wore this in the movies or something? I'll be like, oh, that's a good one. I'll save that and I'll save it, but it doesn't save any reference, like, of what it was.
Are you sure it's not in the image's metadata?
All right, let's have a look. Probably no, because it's just like it'll have some Facebook thing, probably info. No camera information, no lens information. Add a caption. So yeah, no. It's
Well, why
competition.
not just do a Google reverse image search?
Well, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why not, Dale, because that would be cheating.
Okay. So says the man who's been drawing with a Sharpie.
No, if you can tell me who this is, I'll send you the drawing. You can win the drawing. How about that? That's a new theme for this show.
The thing is, I can kind of remember who it is, but I'll be darned if I can
Must have seen this
name
movie.
the movie.
I don't know. Someone from Battlestar Galactica, maybe?
No. That would have been too much skin, and the hair's too big.
Well, it's some sort of Vegas in space idea, anyway. I'm pretty sure it's not Doctor Who. Pretty sure it's not Star Trek. Definitely got an 80s. Oh no, my pen's running out. I mean, I've got a lot of black to do here. I do have another one somewhere. But markers don't really run out. You just they just make more different marks. Even the oldest marker will make some sort of smear.
I'm looking at
Schmear.
various actresses from Buck Rogers, and I don't see that costume.
No. Right.
That was a great show. It was
a great show.
That was a great show. The interesting.
Or were you just young?
That actress, Erin Gray.
Yeah.
She had a career after Buck Rogers, but late in her career, she started a company. I think it was called Heroes for Hire, and it was one of these companies that would provide science fiction actors to sign at conventions.
Oh, okay. Well, that was very nice of her.
Yeah, supposedly she got Gil Gerard, who played Buck, to start going to the shows.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah, that's the question. Not all of these actors remain famous forever.
No, you can only be famous for 15 minutes.
Did you go to see Sam Jones while we were at the East Bay Comic Con, or Barry Bostwick?
No, I didn't. I didn't do any of that. I don't care about that stuff. Whatever. Okay. I mean, I appreciate their work as great actors and all this, or whatever. Or mediocre movie actors.
Well, I'm.
I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm terrible. I mean, yeah.
There is a regular every few months there's a show in Hollywood in Burbank called the Hollywood Show.
You know what?
And
I've
it's
just
an
had.
autograph show. You go down and it's just
I just realised I'm doing this very wrong. I need to just come in and like do these dots afterwards or something. I'm trying to do them all ahead.
can't you just do it all black and then use your white
Yeah.
pen to
Yeah. That's what I'm just realising is what I should be doing. Really, I'm just going to do that.
But supposedly Deep Roy is going to be signing autographs in Burbank, and I'm really tempted to go down.
Okay. Well, I'm very happy for Deep Roy that he's like a successful, known person, but I don't need to know the name of all the people in the costumes.
Okay, you're just no fun.
I mean, I'll pay my entry ticket.
No, I have friends who collect autographs. I used to make fun of it, but then I realized they got to meet all these people, and it is kind of cool.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm just being facetious. Yeah, I mean, that's just me. You know, everyone can do what they like. I don't know. I don't want to. I mean, it's like standing around for hours to meet somebody. Say, oh, you're great.
Yeah, didn't I do that once to meet you?
No, you didn't. I guarantee you didn't have to stand in a line.
Yeah, it wasn't an hour, but oh, yeah. I was kind of wondering why you weren't using the white gel pen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that's cheating. I like doing everything the hard way.
I wonder if this is an adult actress.
Yeah, this is probably some porn film. It's probably Flesh Gordon.
No. There was all kinds of bizarre softcore stuff in the 80s. It's hard to recognize because they would usually show it scrambled on cable.
So what did that look like if it was scrambled on cable? We didn't really have cable or anything like that. I mean, I think they have it now. I know somebody had it at one point. But
the colors would change and the image would become all fluid. But if you watched it long enough, your brain was able to correct it.
Right.
Yeah. I honestly think that I damaged my visual cortex by watching scrambled adult films.
Probably, yeah. That probably explains why the whole of America is so fucked up.
Well, it explains why people my age need glasses.
I mean, seriously, what is going on in this country?
Yeah, you're going to be a whole lot of fun when you come back from England.
What the hell? What the hell?
Chuck, I wish we could get into it, but we can't.
No, it's not a political show, but what the hell? Seriously want to vote for these people?
Yeah, but
that's the best we can do. That's the best we got. That's the best we've got.
Chuck, I'm not.
You're seriously telling me that's the best you got?
Chuck.
Those two candidates are the best people.
You're going to have
you
so
can come
much
up with
fun
to run this fucking country.
When you're in England and you're able to talk about the United States with
I know it's just as bad over there.
Nose in the air.
Look, at least, like he may be a, you know,
Chuck, we're not getting into it.
But at least Rishi Sunak is brown. We've got a brown man in charge. That's nice.
Chuck, you're like, what are you going to do when you get there? I mean, are you going to like load up on British food and like talk in like?
No, I don't like any of that stuff anymore. I'm going to get some. I'll get some. There's some lotions and medicines and things. I'll get anti-sand, which is really good for mosquito bites. It makes them go away really quick. There's nothing like that here. And I'll get pseudo-creme. That's really good. That's hard.
Are you going to go to that? Are you going to go to one of those places that serves eel and mashed peas?
Veal?
Eel.
Eel?
Yeah, supposedly they have restaurants that serve eel.
I don't know. I like unagi, but that's it.
Are you going to go to...
My white pens have disappeared.
Are you going to something called Wimpy Burger?
Wimpy's.
Yeah.
No, I did used to go to Wimpy's. I don't think they exist anymore. I think
Are you
they were
going to have
they
fish
were
and
pre
chips?
McDonald's. Pre McDonald's, we had Wimpy's. Then McDonald's came, and I think Wimpy's sort of died out fairly quickly.
Are you going to have fish and chips?
Probably not.
All right.
No, I'm not.
Now, where you're going, do they have any comic book stores?
Oh, well, they do have a really good new game store in Basingstoke that I've been meaning to check out.
Okay. Are you going to get into London at all?
Possibly, but probably not. I don't like London's like a bloody obstacle course for me. It's really hard for me getting around in London. I kind of hate it. I always hate it. I always hated London, and I hate it even more now.
Well, I think Forbidden Planet is in London.
That's what I used to do. Was I would go up to London to go to Forbidden Planet.
Okay.
Because there was only like Forbidden Planet, and then there was Forbidden Planet 2.
I would go to Forbidden Planet if I was going to England.
Yeah, well, it was pretty good, and I would see what would I see in Forbidden Planet? I would see ElfQuest on the shelves. I would see Cerebus the Aardvark. Those were the ones I wanted to get, but I could never really afford them because they came on import, and they were like sort of £5 each or something, which was a lot of money for a comic back then.
Well, that's where I discovered Judge Dredd, and I was into Judge Dredd before it came over to the United States, but I had reread all those books so many times, and there was nothing new.
Well, they keep making new Judge Dredd. The Rogue Trooper movie, that's coming now.
I heard that.
Yeah, they've done it. Well, Rebellion bought this studio, like back before the pandemic. Like they bought this studio space, and they've got one of those volume things, I think. Although I think Rogue Trooper's being done like all in Unreal Engine. So that's kind of interesting.
Oh, okay.
But that's just the first one. But they want to like become a full-on studio and making all these sort of Judge Dredd movies. They want to do a Judge Dredd TV show, but I think they're sort of working up to it a bit. But the pandemic slowed the whole process down.
Somewhere I heard that they're talking about they're going to do a Warhammer 40K movie.
Well, I don't usually get very excited about the ideas of movies from games, but all right, there have been some good ones over the years. People seem to quite like the Dungeons & Dragons movie. I quite enjoyed.
The last game movie I enjoyed was Clue.
That's terrible. Oh my god. I remember I saw it when it first came out, and I thought it was pretty bad. And then everyone was like, "Oh, Clue's really good." All the young people are watching Clue. Oh, they're making a stage show of Clue. Oh, maybe I misunderstood that movie. I think I'll watch it again. Watched it again with some friends, and we all decided it was absolutely horrible. I mean, like, it was unwatchably bad. So I don't really understand. I mean, I understand it had some good actors in it.
No, it's a great movie.
What is good about it?
It's funny.
Funny? You didn't laugh once. What was funny? It was just bad. I don't get it. Why is everyone?
You talk about the Carry On films, and then you
I didn't say they were good. Wait. I think you'll find I didn't say they were good.
Well, what's Basingstoke like? Are there going to be lots of like little shops? Is it like Diagon Alley in the Potter movies?
Well, okay. There was a French nobleman who came to visit Basingstoke in. Well, it must have been. It was before the English Civil War, so okay. Back in the. Which is Civil War One. The American Civil War is actually the same Civil War, but Civil War Two. Like they lost the first one and they came here. Well, they won it. They won it, and then they made themselves so unpopular in the next 12 years that they started coming over here. Everyone brought the king back. So we're bringing.
You're talking about the Roundheads.
Yeah, the Roundheads, like the Puritans, basically.
Yeah.
They won the Civil War. That's the thing. They can always tell you over here, we were persecuted by the king. No, cut the king's head off, and then you made yourself so unpopular persecuting everybody that when your leader, Oliver Cromwell, died, we said, okay, who'd been terrorizing everybody for the whole time he was in power, They said, okay, we're going to get the bloody king back because at least we didn't have these fucking Puritans in charge.
Yeah.
Then they come over here going, oh, we're persecuted. We're persecuted.
Yes, thank you for
The king
sending
persecuted us.
Yes, thank you for
Bullshit.
sending them here.
Yes.
Yes. Rather Bonnie Prince King Charles. Bonnie King Charles over here.
Oh yeah, well, he's got cancer. Anyway, I forgot.
Yeah, I
Sorry, I went
feel
on that
bad
rant. I
about
forgot what I
that.
was talking about. Anyway, so wait, what did I start on the Civil War about? You asked me about Basingstoke. Oh yeah, okay. So this French nobleman came to Basingstoke. He said it had terrible shopping and horrible modern architecture, and that's still true today.
Good, glad. Are you gonna go over to Paris at all?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go over to Paris. Like, what do you think I am? Do you think? Are you going to buy this picture for $1,000? Then maybe I could afford a trip to Paris.
No. All my money is tied up in my cat's project.
Yes, exactly. Which is sensible. Yeah, that's good. I don't want to go to Paris anyway. Any city worse than London is Paris. All right, I'm just getting my feelings.
No, I feel bad that I didn't take more advantage of San Francisco when I was younger.
Do you often take advantage of young cities?
I try to. That's where the
Oh, there's
fun
my
is.
white hat.
No, like I don't go up to Mission Comics at all, which I should.
Yeah, you should. You should.
I don't go up. I
don't go to Mission Comics enough. It's only just down the road. But I don't go anywhere. It's difficult for me.
I don't go to enough the bookstores up in San Francisco or the comic shops.
But if I do go, the thing is, if I do go there, I always spend at least like $100 or more.
Oh.
So I just
Yeah.
And I do encourage everyone to go to that short. And he's a great guy. I love Leaf, and
yeah, retail is dangerous for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I have an aversion to shopping, basically.
That's shopping is hunting and gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim.
No, I don't like that past world. I'm not very. I'm more interested in the world of the future. I always have been.
Ron Johnson from Apple.
World.
He learned the hard way about what retail shopping is when he became CEO of J.C. Penney's.
Who? What?
Back when Apple created their retail stores, the VP of retail was Ron Johnson. And he
Long John Ronson. What?
Ron Johnson. And
Long Johnson.
Yes, Long Johnson. And he left Apple.
That's a good business name. If you want to get ahead in America, you need a name like Long Johnson.
He left Apple and became CEO of J.C. Penney's because he thought he knew everything about retail because Apple retail stores were a raging success.
It's very interesting. Americans seem to think that Long Johnsons are very important, but the ancient Greeks thought that made you an idiotic donkey.
Okay. We're talking about the artistic representation of the male primary sexual characteristic and how the length of it implied that you were low breeding and low intelligence, that you were an animal, which is why Michelangelo's David has a very artistically subdued member.
But the whole thing is it's confusing because the whole thing's so big, so it's actually quite big. It's relatively small, but it's still bigger than yours.
That's because how big is that damn statue?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know how tall it is in feet, but it's pretty big. It's pretty huge.
Yeah,
unlike the mannequin P. The mannequin P is tiny. The mannequin P is only about this big.
Yeah, look at Michelangelo's David from the side. It's not anatomically correct.
Okay.
Trust me, look at it from the side. That thing was designed to go on top of a building. It was not designed to be shown as it is.
All right. Well, I don't know what this lady's name is or what she's from.
I know her from something, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, it's from something. I know I've seen this movie. All right. All right. All right. Can I say anything more insulting to anybody about anything else? I'm getting all my insults in today because I'm going off the air.
Well, you're going to Limey Land where people speak their minds.
Well, no, we don't. That's the whole thing. In this country, you can speak your mind. See, I'm free in this
No,
country to
trust me,
say
what
how
we
you
say
see.
has no mind behind it.
In England, if I say anything about the King or the Prince Charles, King Charles, he's got cancer now.
Yeah, and I feel bad about that.
That's bad because he was doing a great job. Actually, it turned out like everyone was like, "Oh, he's been really." I even heard Ian Hislop, the editor of Private Eye. He was saying that Prince Charles was doing a good job, and I'm like, "Wow."
King Charles. All right, what are you
Yeah,
going to
King
draw
Charles.
now? And I want to point out that you have 14 minutes. This is 14 minutes of this show before your 6-week break.
Okay. Okay. Who shall I draw now? Ooh, there's a nice one of Sophia Loren.
Draw Catherine Schell from Space 1999 in her Maya costume.
Okay, wait. Is she to Maximilian Schell?
I don't think so.
Well, Schellenberg, Catherine Schellenberg.
No, Catherine Schell, who played Maya on Space 1999.
Oh, she's Catherine with a C.
She was a Bond girl.
Ah, wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ooh, hello. All right. Well, she's got a number of, she seems to wear a lot of different outfits. Most people, wait, is she some sort of alien?
Yeah.
How do they have aliens?
How do you not know this?
Because I was too young when Space 1999 came on, and I tried to watch it recently, and I thought, God, this is bad.
Okay, I'm not very happy with you right now.
No, I didn't think that. I thought I'd like to watch more of it, but I had more important things to do.
Look for the one where she's kind of in like a dress.
Okay, here's one where she's wearing quite a skimpy outfit. It's not really an exciting pose.
Skimpy is good.
Yeah, she is with aliens behind her. I don't wait. Okay, I didn't know they had aliens. I thought they were like on the moon.
They are on the moon, but the moon has been blasted out of orbit.
Okay, so they meet aliens.
Every day is a struggle to survive. I love that show.
Every day is a struggle to survive.
Kind of like
right.
here, the Earth has been blasted out of orbit.
She's got these weird eyebrows.
Yes, that's the bumpy eyebrows. Yeah, that's
Right.
before Star Trek: The Next Generation brought that new technology where they would make the bridge of your nose bumpy.
Oh yeah. Well, I did like Star Trek Next Year. I watched all that in the pandemic, and all of Deep Space Nine, which I hadn't seen, which that was good.
But
I definitely became a Deep Space Nine fan by the end.
Okay, you need to watch UFO, which is by Gary Anderson, and then Space 1999. That's your homework during your trip.
I don't know if you can see that in England.
No, I'm sure it must be on a streaming station.
I think they're all slightly embarrassed by it now. It's too popular in America. It's like, if people in America like this, it can't be any good.
I have this horrible fear that your entire trip you're going to just be telling stories about me.
Well, my friends know you now. Like you talked to Kevin Ian the other day, so when I say Dale, they'll know what I'm talking about.
I wonder if he picked up any sculpting.
He did, actually. He told me he picked up some Sculpey, and he's busy sculpting some Pufel characters for me.
Good for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's great. Ian, I love Ian so much. He's such a good
Super
guy.
sculpting is a fun stuff to have.
I don't know, it's a bit funny, but she's an alien.
No, one of my friends asked me why I haven't been sculpting and printing stuff out on a 3D printer. I was thinking about buying a 3D printer, but the one I wanted to buy has this tendency to catch fire. So I'm going to wait until they finish the recall. She was in the same Bond film as Joanna Lumley and
Joanna Lumley?
And Diana Rigg on Her Majesty's
Secret on the Majesty's Secret Service, yeah, right.
Yeah, there were a lot of Bond girls in that one.
Now, a lot of people say that's the best one. I tend to agree. I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, that was a pretty good one.
I think that I think George Lazenby got bad advice, and he left it. He should have stuck it out for at least 2 more films.
Well, they only get worse, though. The first one with the new Bond is usually the best one, and then they get worse as they go on.
Nah.
Sean Connery's slight exception to that, in that his... Nah! I mean, look at... No, definitely. That's definitely true. It's not true for Sean Connery. Sean Connery, because it was like, oh, I didn't really know, and then it sort of built up. So Sean
Kirk's
Connery
joined us.
But they do like the last Sean Connery ones are the worst Sean Connery ones.
You missed Kirk. You missed Tony. Tony's gone off to Half Moon Bay. Kirk and Tony and I were all at the San Jose State illustration department.
Wait, are you talking to somebody?
Sharon,
Hi, Kirk.
Sharon was also at the San Jose State illustration department. Kirk, can you guess who Chuck is drawing?
It's someone Dale wanted me to draw.
Kirk is drawing again.
A big clue is that Dale wanted me to draw this person.
Kirk is not only my pal, but he is also an expert on Japanese kaiju and kaiju collectibles. He had to move into another house because his collection got too big.
What are you saying? It sounded like you sneezed. Kaiju?
Yes. Kaiju. It's the generic term for giant rubber Japanese monsters.
Yeah. So, they've gotten worse too. They used to be great. Like Godzilla used to be so much fun, and now it's just like some big CGI boring lump.
Yeah, but you got to admit, Godzilla looks way more buff. I haven't seen Godzilla.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, look buff.
That's
good. He's got nice teeth too, I'm sure.
Most actors with age just get fat and old, but Godzilla went in reverse. He was kind of
Americans very important to be buff and have nice teeth.
He's gotten bigger and stronger.
Gotta have nice teeth. That way you know a guy's a real proper guy because he's got nice teeth.
No, I haven't seen Godzilla Godzilla -1 yet. Kirk, have you?
I'm not. No, I didn't see that one actually. To be honest, I will see it. I mean, I will see it because I see all these things. But
I have to wait for it to come on streaming.
My son went to see it twice. He thought it was really good.
Kirk's seen it. I should have known. He says it's fantastic. I assume that, Kirk, you're going to go to the SJ Toy Show in March?
Messing up with this arm. I didn't really leave enough room for her arm on the side here. She's got in a slightly weird position.
Kirk says it's the best Godzilla movie since the first. I've been hearing a lot about that.
Well, is it better than Monster Island?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope I see you at the show, Kirk. No, he's
What I want to know is, like, we did all this job of designing all this cool futuristic stuff in the 70s. Then the
yeah.
future came. We just, like, designed everything to look crap.
Are you kidding me? Well, a majority of Apple's stuff in the early 2000s, those lampshade iMacs, the white iMacs, the
Yeah.
iPod, that was all stolen from Space 1999.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah, it was. And then you look at the design of Apple's stuff now, the Mac Minis, the Mac Studios, the MacBooks, all that gray gunmetal. That's all stolen from Star Wars and the Empire.
Now, either she's got, like, an emergency bottle of wine up there, or some sort of, maybe it's a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, it's probably air.
Oxygen, yeah, because you're on the moon, so there's no oxygen.
Kirk says
Oh, I
the
didn't do the most
Godzilla
important bit,
Minus
which is her
One
stupid
is a
eyebrows.
serious movie, not one of the fun ones. You see, that's the thing that I kind of miss. I do like Godzilla's victory dance. Yes, it is Maya, played by Catherine Schell from the second season of Space 1999.
It was the eyebrows were the giveaway in the end. You see, now I'm getting into the intricacies of this costume.
Yeah, you see, Kirk is one of my peeps. Kirk and Tony worked at Big Guys Comics in, was it technically Mountain View or is it Sunnyvale? It was on the El Camino. It was this awesome hole in the wall comic shop. And Kirk loves Space 1999, which you can rewatch on Tubi for free with commercials.
Are they British commercials from the 1970s?
I wish. Oh, it was Mountain View. Yes.
I think that would upset Americans if they saw the British commercials in the 1970s. They'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah, Kirk and Tony actually got me more into comic book stuff
These people.
because I was more sci-fi stuff going to the sci-fi conventions. But they got me into some of the comic stuff. Freaking Tony got me going to Monster Palooza and the CTN Expo.
Well, this is why I was asking you about Joe Six comics, because I've been reading his Trekkies comics. I haven't read them all. No, I got 2 more at the thing, but it was a very good description of sort of going to early Star Trek conventions and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
And Kirk's reminding me he also worked at Comics in Palo Alto on California Avenue. That was an amazing freaking store because they used to get in like it may have been Dick Swan who was getting in all these books by Paper Tiger.
Oh yeah, all the Roger Dean
art
produced
books.
ones, yeah.
And you would get books on Jim Burns and Rodney Matthews and
oh yeah. Oh, I never got the Jim Burns one. That, yeah.
It was on Cowper.
Chris Achilleos.
Okay. All right. I think I was in the Cowper store, but I went to the one in California that was I think there was, I don't know if, well, so do I have those books. I think it may have been, I don't know if Computerware was on California back then.
Computerware, yes.
Computerware. Oh, Kirk, what we were talking about earlier is there is a cartoonist, Joe Sick, S-I-K, and
which is short for his full name, which is I don't know. Actually, I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't have it in front of me. So
but he's doing a fanzine. It's a little comic book, and it's well drawn, called "When We Were Trekkies."
Yes,
and it's about stories of being a Star Trek fan and doing cosplay in the 70s.
Yes.
Let me see if he has a website for it. I think you and Tony would dig When We Were Trekkies.
Yeah, I think anyone who's sort of experienced that, I think would really dig this comic. And I dig it as someone who didn't experience it, but would have liked to have experienced it if I'd been around at that time.
Yeah, it's a Sycoriac is the full name.
Cipperley, yes.
Yeah. So if you just Google "When We Were Trekkies,"
When we were Trekkies, yeah.
you should be able to find it. And
Now, what do you call it if you're a Space 1999-y?
I don't know if there's a nickname for it.
It's time you better come up with one, seeing as you're the
Yeah,
biggest. I've never known a bigger Space 1999 fan than you.
Oh, are you kidding? There's huge Space 1999 fans.
Oh, there? Where are they? They don't come out. They don't come on. They don't come on the internet.
They're usually at these shows. They're at these shows that do model making, because the spaceship from the series, the Eagle, is still very popular.
Oh yeah, I love making those models. I'll tell you that. I did love to, put together a little airfix.
Kirk, your first Star Trek convention, was that the one that was at the Center for Performing Arts in San Jose, or was that the one possibly at the Holiday Inn in San Jose? They still have Star Trek conventions, but a lot of times it's mixed up with just other stuff, like WonderCon.
Mixed up is the right word.
All right, it's 12:02.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, that's the end of the show. Right. I've got a lot of things to do today.
And you're going to have to tell our audience, all one or two of them. Yeah, Performing Arts Center. I have a sneaking suspicion we walked past each other in the crowd, Kurt.
All right. Well, viewers, thanks for tuning in. I'm really sorry I've been insulting you all, and I really appreciate my co-host Dale. I think he's a wonderful guy, really. And,
no, I'm not.
Well, you're not, but I think you are.
So the show's going to be on hiatus for 6 weeks?
No. Well, I think by the time I get back, I'm going to be back. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 weeks.
All right, so we're going to be off for a month, and then we'll let you know on Facebook when we're back.
Yeah.
Maybe I might draw.
Yeah, Dale, you could do the show while I'm gone. You could do.
Oh God, no! I have to work on my cat thing.
Your cat thing?
Yes, my super secret cat project.
You're not going to give us any hints.
No,
it's not directing.
No. Huey, my cat, is moving up in the Hollywood ladder.
All right, but not as far as directing. But he's going from executive producer to actual producer.
No, he's an associate producer. He's going to become an executive producer.
Okay, so the executive producer is the one that comes up with the money, right?
We don't want to talk about that.
Where does your cat get money?
Usually at Bay 101. He's very good at Pai-Gow poker.
Room 101, supplying the rats for Room 101.
No, Bay 101 Bay 101 is one of the premier poker places in the South Bay.
Oh, well, I don't approve of gambling.
Yeah, my cat has a gambling problem. By the way, Kurt is very impressed by the drawing. He says it looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Kurt. It's only taken me, well, I had 14 minutes to do it when I started, but I think I've taken closer to 20 by the time at this point. But all right, well, we'll just have a quick review of all these different drawings I've done today. All right, I'm going to call that one there because it's the end of the show. All right, I did quite well today. All right. Oh, my camera's mirrored. Well, you can see them all mirrored. Oh, wait, I'm going to unmirror. It's a bit late. I'm going to unmirror my camera. Then you can see them properly. Now it looks all funny. It's not finished, this one.
You never finish any of them.
Well, no, I do. I mean, finished is...
Kirk believes you nailed the likeness.
I think I got quite good likeness on it. All right, that's her. We'll review Kurt. All right,
Kirk, are you going to go by time tunnel today?
Right, Kirk. Do you know we're not stuck? We're not sure who this is. See, she's a picture I collected in my folder while browsing the internet, but I don't really know who she is. She seems to be from some 80s sci-fi movie. Then we did this one. I might fill her in the back behind because it would look. I think she'll look a bit better if I do that. That won't come out too well. She's from Star Trek.
Well,
this one also, Jane Leaves, when she was a Benny Hill girl. That one also I don't think came out that well because it was really more of a scoring, and I did it on a rectangular piece of paper. All right. I didn't really have good space.
Yes.
Right. Oh, and then Helen Mirren. Oh, Helen Mirren came out quite good at the beginning. All right. Well, I had the choice. I could do one good drawing.
Yeah, Angelique Pettyjohn.
All right, quite pleased. All right.
Now, Kirk is also now jumped on the bandwagon. He's going to be working on a sketchbook more like I am. So we have to be...
Angelique Pettyjohn. Okay.
Pettyjohn.
Pettyjohn. Wait. Let's have a look. If you're correct, you get the drawing, because I did promise that.
No, I'm talking about Angelique Pettyjohn in the one from Star Trek, the original series.
Oh,
so
okay.
We know the names of everyone except for the one with the big shoulder pads.
Yeah, this one.
Yes, and I've seen her in something.
All right, well, I'll leave that competition open. First person to email me and tell me who that is.
Okay.
With the drawing. Yeah, Angelique Pettyjohn. That's very nice.
All right. So you're going to be off to, what's the name of the town you're going to? Borneo? Basingstoke. Basingstoke.
I'm going to Basingstoke.
Okay.
Home of the Basingstoke
Bisons. Oh, Kirk may have nailed it. Sybil Danning.
Sybil Danning.
Oh. Well, I'm scrolling through trying to find
No, I don't think it is her. Oh, let me go back to the original photo and then just to make it a little easier on you. But I don't think that's her. Is it? Is it? I don't think so. No, that's quite good. I might do Sybil Danning another time. Ooh, here's one where she's dressed like a Nazi. She's dressed like a sexy Nazi in this one. Oh yeah, I like this Sybil Danning. Yeah, I'm going to draw her in the future.
No doubt.
Oh, no, it's quite a similar outfit. Well, is it her? I don't know. Okay, let me bring up this. This picture's not coming up. Photos. Where's my reference folder gone? I've got to find it again. Okay. That was the source material. Well, answers on a postcard, please. Addressed to Urfspace. Urfspace. That's the address. You say it 3 times, and then turn around and touch your toes, and it will take you straight to Urfspace.
Yeah, if you say Chuck Whelon's name 3 times in a mirror, he comes out of the mirror after you.
All right, that's the end of the show. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to my former co-hosts, Amber, for tuning in. Chris, I don't know. Chris keeps threatening to stop leaving you heckling comments. But he hasn't done so yet. And everybody, like, if something happens, meaning if World War III breaks out, and we never see.
Okay, thanks for ending this on a depressing note. Yeah,
I like that movie.
Just in case my
The Way I Live
plane
Now.
takes a dive into the North Atlantic.
Well, there's a movie called The Way I Live Now, which I recommend, with Saoirse Ronan, where she's like an American girl. She goes on holiday in England or Ireland or somewhere, and then World War III breaks out. And it's called The Way I Live Now. It's a good movie. I like it a lot. And, so every time I go back to England, I feel like, oh, America's probably going to start World War III.
Thanks.
To make up for being so late for the last two World Wars, it would be extra punctual for the next one.
Thanks. You're the best. You've just made my morning.
I got a feeling when I get off the plane coming back again, they're going to say.
I hope
they're going to use the show as evidence to send me back to England again.
I hope they sit you next to someone really fun on the plane.
Well, on that note, if you sit next to me on the plane and no one's guessed this drawing by then, I'll give you this drawing.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Theme song for Chuck Whelon showy. He asked me to write one, but I stole from David Bowie. Here's a theme song